Welcome back, folks, to Garage C. We've been away. I'm sorry, I do apologise for the brief outage, but we had stuff we needed to do. I need to introduce you to a member of the team that you will know as the executive producer, camera lady, and much beloved. And in order to explain where we've been and why we've been gone for so long, also now, wife. I love you, wife.
I love you, hubby.
Yeah, so I'm afraid we were so busy with wedding arrangements and all that stuff that we've neglected you guys a little bit, so I'm really sorry about that. This isn't a full episode, I just wanted to put a little something together to let you know where we've been, what we've been up to, which was getting married and having a honeymoon and sorting all that sort of stuff out.
Honeymoon?
We had 2 weeks in a shed in Wales. Apparently that doesn't count, but at some point we'll go somewhere hot, so not Wales. So that's what we've been doing, so sorry that we've been away. Whisper isn't here, we've got all sorts of stuff to catch up on, but I wanted to answer a couple of questions that came in on the last full video that we did from Dan. Dan had some questions, so go on, you ask me and I'll tell Dan.
Basically, they want to know if you're going to go into more detail with the stuff for your supercharger. The first one is...
Yes, we will.
Will you go into more depth with the specs and fitment of everything once you have Whisper all up and running?
I can do that. Does he have some specific questions?
Yeah, it would be great to know stuff like the dimensions of the intercooler.
About that big. I do have, I think, some photos of the intercooler from when I was thinking about selling it. So if I can find them, I'll throw them in here and put some dimensions on the screen. It's an over-the-top intercooler. It came from Fast Intercoolers. No, can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen.
It would be great to know stuff like, done that one, if you needed to modify it for it to fit between the rad and the slam panel.
Yes, so the radiator would you'd normally have the slam panel and the radiator sat there. And what I've done is I've lowered the lower mounting brackets on the radiator so it's moved down a little bit, and then I've built offset brackets so the radiator is tilted back, and that gives me a space to get the intercooler in. And there's a picture of it, hopefully if I can find one here. There you go, that's what that looks like.
The size of the boost pipes, couplers and connectors.
The size of the what?
Boost pipes.
The size of the boost pipes. Boost pipes are 2 inch.
Couplers.
2 inch.
Connectors.
2 inch.
What COP setup are you running?
Cops. Come try and steal our crops. They are Toyota Cops and they are part number that.
Where the IAT sensor is and where the BOV vac hose connects.
The intake air temperature sensor is in the cold side of the intercooler. I drilled a hole and aluminium brazed the bung onto the side. If I can find a picture of that, that's here. There you go, that's what that looks like. And that's where the IoT sensor is.
Where the BOV vac hose
The
connects.
blow-off valve is in the boost pipe from the cold side of the intercooler up and into the intake butterfly. It's a forge blow-off valve, and the vacuum feed for it runs straight to that little connector behind the butterfly that the charcoal canister used to be plugged into.
And a breakdown of prices. I probably don't want to listen to this.
A breakdown
of prices for the charger kit, AFR, PNP, ECU and boost gauge, etc.
Yeah, my greatest fear is that I die suddenly and my wife sells the car for what I told her it cost. DIY PNP ECU, 500 quid. The supercharger kit was pre-loved, and I came across that on a buy and sell thread on Nuts, and that was 1,000. No, I'm lying. That came from Vindy, Russell, Project M, the artist formerly known as Prince. I know he's lots of names. He sold that to me, and it was about £1.5 grand. Yeah, it's a BRP 6 rib auto tensioner kit. It's the best kit. The auto tensioner is just the best thing in the world.
AFR?
AFR, the wideband lambda sensor for reading air fuel ratio. That's an MTX-L Innovate kit. That cost £130. Don't buy one, they're shit.
You've done the PMP.
Get an AEM.
ECU?
ECU is the DIY PMP.
Boost gauge.
Boost gauge. The boost gauge came in the kit when I brought the MP42, 45? MP45, the mini supercharger kit. So I started with a mini supercharger and I brought that kit for I think about £1,000. And the boost gauge came with it. I am thinking about changing it because I think there's a slight boost leak coming from that gauge. But I've been told that the Chinese eBay ones with the remote sensor and the electronic feed, because there's a vac line that runs through into the dashboard for that gauge. The ones with the remote sensor, I've been told they leak as well, and the gauges aren't very reliable. So if anybody has any suggestions for a good supercharger boost gauge, it only needs to read up to 14 psi, so I don't need one of these like 5-bar jobs. Any suggestions, please let me know.
And that's it really. That's because Dan is weighing up the pros and cons of supercharging versus turbocharging for what he wants out of his 5 supercharger.
Well, it must be right.
Turbo.
No.
No, well, it depends what you want.
That means that'll probably be his next project. You do know this, don't you?
It depends what you
You're
want.
costing me money.
It depends what you want. Between us, we've owned a lot of turbocharged cars.
Yeah.
And we'd never owned a supercharged car, and I'd never driven a supercharged car, so I wanted a supercharged car. And I wanted it to be one with decent performance, which means when the MP62 came up, I jumped at it. 250 brake horsepower, 220 at the rear wheels. It's worth having, but it's it's complex. You know, you've got to get your belts right, and a turbocharger you'll get more brake horsepower per pound spent from a turbocharger. You'll also get more space under the curve.
But will you have as much?
You won't have as much fun. The supercharger makes a fantastic noise, and the power delivery is very linear and very lovely, and that's why I like it. But the power curve on the supercharger is kind of a hill, because it makes its boost tied to crank speed, so the boost increases with RPM. With the turbocharger, it's going to spool up and then plateau when it hits boost cut. So if you can hit your maximum boost at 2,500 revs, because you've got a nice modern turbo that spins up quickly, so you're going to go up and across. So your space underneath that line, space here, more boost, more power. It's going to feel quicker in the lower rev ranges. It will feel like a quicker car, but it won't feel like it will be. So you'll make the same horsepower, but earlier. But the supercharger it's just nice. I like the noise. It makes a really good noise, and 220 horsepower supercharged is more than enough to get yourself into trouble, trust me.
That's it.
Is that it? Excellent. Well, I'm glad we've answered those questions, even if slightly vaguely. I'm sorry that it's not a proper spanner turning episode, but we do have one of those on the way for you next week. We've got the track car shout project to get going. We've got some bits and bobs to finish off on Whisper, like making the bonnet close properly would be nice. And we're going to get back into the swing of things. So it's great to see you guys again. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for sticking with us. Dan, I hope that's answered some of your questions, and
That's it.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.